Oh yeah, back once again, yes. Welcome everybody to another episode of Word to the Wise. Coming at you live right now every single Wednesday. Yeah, and you know why I do this. Oh yeah, I do this for Pops and Fat Mama. Giving it to you just like you should get it. I always say it doesn't matter who I am or what I am, but whose I am. And I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. Thank you, cousins. Thank you guys for showing up for another episode here. And boy, do I got a doozy for you today. Oh, big question. Question I want to ask everybody out there. Who can you count on? Do you have someone that you can count on? If you do, then you are one of the lucky ones. I'm trying to tell you, cousins. Yes, you are one of the lucky ones because there are many of us who have gone through some years, got a little gray follicles, a little gray in the beard, a little gray in the hair, got a few less teeth, got a few miles on us, yes. And you know what happens? We wind up losing people that we thought was on our side. And your circle gets a little smaller. Yes, it does. See, when you're young, friends are very, very important. They'll say, hey, let's go do X, Y, and Z. And you say, jump, what? How high? Yes, that happens. And then you get a little bit older into your 20s. You get out of those teens and you hit those 20s. And you start seeing there's certain people that can hang out with you and your friends, but you have certain friends that can't hang out with each other. Come on, somebody. I'm talking to somebody today. Do you have some friends that can't hang out with each other? Because, see, they just seem to just rub each other the wrong way. So by the time that you get into your late 20s, maybe even early 30s, you start to find out you have some friends that you can hang out and do certain things. I got golf buddies. Yes. I got football fan buddies. I got some buddies that are into spoken word poetry. Yes. I got cats who like to play chess, but I can't take the chess cats out there to golf. It's just not their thing. And you get okay with it. I'm fine. I'm fine because you know what? You hit those 40s. And then that circle gets even smaller. If you got 5 friends, I'm not talking about Facebook friends. Friend up on Facebook with, 10,000 people. You don't have 10,000 friends. Those are just associates, acquaintances, and most of them, they'll never respond or post or even ask you how you doing. So not those kind of friends, not the social media kind of friends that I'm talking about, true friends. And if you had one since your childhood and you still got them right today, oh man, you should clap for that. Yes, you should clap for that because you got somebody maybe that you can count on. Professor once stood right there in front of his classroom with a big empty glass jar, okay? The jar was about 13 inches tall. And he had inside of that jar a bunch of fleas, just regular old household fleas. And he said, I want you guys to see something, class. He had a lid on it. And he opened the lid. And one by one, all of the fleas jumped out. Why? Because fleas have a 24-inch leaping capability, and this is a 12-inch jar. Sometimes they could even jump by 4 or 5 feet, horizontally. They don't have wings, but they can catapult themselves. They can spring forward, and that is about 100 times their body size. Put that in perspective of a human, 6 feet tall, but you can jump 600 feet in the air. That's almost superhero status right there. The professor took all those fleas, put them back into that jar. Yes, he did. Put the lid on. And one by one, they would jump, hit their head on the lid, fall back down. Hit their head on the lid, keep falling back down. Until they jumped just short of that lid. Just short. And then after a while, he said, okay, you saw what happened. They can jump out. I put the lid on. Now they cannot jump out because they are trapped inside of this jar, glass jar, and the class can see all the jumping going on. He said, now here's what I want you to see. Took the lid off. And those same fleas with that 24-inch leaping capability, they would jump just shy of where the lid used to be and fall right back down inside the jar. Until one flea, it only takes one flea would jump in and say, you know what? I can see outside the jar. And he jumps again and said, man, I think I can get out of here. And all the other fleas like, don't do it. You'll break your head. You're going to hit that lid, okay? We cannot jump out of here. There's the lid up there. He said, but I can see outside of the jar, cousin. I'm telling you. He tries it against better judgment, against the older fleas who've been in the jar probably the longest. And in his own disbelief, he says, I can do it. And then he believes in himself. Yes, life can make you doubt you. Yes, it can. And always remember that when I'm speaking to you here on Word to the Wise with the exclamation point, I'm speaking in metaphors. I'm telling you about one thing. Hopefully you can see the second. But I want you to really have true vision to be able to see a third. One flea jumps out. And all of a sudden, the rest of them say, well, will burn my biscuits. They jump out too. And all of a sudden, the whole jar just empties out. What happens while they're in that jar? What happens to all these fleas? You know what they're doing? They say, we have no one we can count on. No one's going to let us out of here. No one is going to free us. They won't do it. It is better for them to have us in here. And even more miraculous, okay? The second generation of fleas who were born in a jar, never seen the outside. All they know is a lid. They too will believe they can jump out. And when they do, and that jar empties, it is freedom, it's liberation. But it took one. It took one brave soul. It took one to conquer the fear of breaking their own neck and just say, I believe I can. Wait a minute, I think I can. Hold on. I know I can. These are fleas I'm talking about, right? Or am I? Uh-oh, cousin. May have a message coming for you right now. Maybe I'm not talking about them. Case in point, Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister broke the mile, the 4-minute mile. And it was said that you can't do it. You can't break the 4-minute mile, Roger. No person has ever done that in the history of the world. Even back in the days of the Greek Olympiads and all the time where they had time and distance. He did it. Why? Because he believed in himself. He said, I come so close though, you guys. I come close in practice. I get very, very close to breaking that record. And I got these two guys that are following right behind me, his buddies, that are hot on his heels. He said, if I don't outpace them, then they'll win the race. He said, I think I can. He's like, Roger, don't do it. Your heart will burst. The human body cannot run that fast for that long and sustain it. So just give up. Man, recognize the lid. He broke that 4-minute mile in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. And he did it in the Olympics. That record had stood for generations. For generations it stood. And he believed he could do it, and he did. Here is the special caveat to it. He wasn't really a runner. What he was a surgeon. He was a doctor who enjoyed jogging and just took it up as a hobby, and it became something that he was known for. But he broke the record, and people told him he couldn't. 3 years after he broke that record, high school kids were breaking it. High school kids were breaking the record. Men, women, they were all breaking the 4-minute mile. Okay, wait a minute. What changed? Okay, 4 minutes is still the same measurement of time, is it not, cousins? And 1 mile is the same length and distance. Time didn't change. Distance didn't change. What changed? Belief in oneself. I had to strike out on my own. And I'm going to tell you, I was scared to death to leave my little hometown. But it was time. It was time for me to go. I had to leave. Because what had happened was I was, my middle brother got gunned down and shot 6 times in the back. I mean, shot him, and he ran and he jumped over a brick wall, and this coward put his arm over that wall and emptied that gun right into my brother's back. Died. And he was my protector and my tormentor. Yes, Jim Ranger, my brother. He called himself Boosie. Jamie. Yes, and when Jamie died, the year was 1984. I was fresh out of high school. And I had a job working for a rental car agency, and they said, we need somebody to go to the other county and work there. And I had some cousins who lived in Orange County, California. So I said, I'll go. And I was driving my brother's car, Monte Carlo. Yes, it was a mustard, rust-colored, mustard-looking Monte Carlo. It was clean. Oh, yeah. And my good homeboy, Lakeith Black. Black said, he was working with me at the rent-a-car agency. He was like, man, I'm going to roll with you, man. I'm going to go too. Let's go up there and work for the summer. I contact my cousin. And he said, okay, well, I just got like a 2-bedroom apartment, my man. Me and my wife and my 2 daughters. So he said, you can crash on the couch, if that's what you want to do. And I was like, should I go? Because I'm kind of officially going to be out on my own when I leave. I needed somebody I could count on, and he was that person. Give a shout out to my kinfolk. What up, cousin? What up, cousin? Yeah, Roger Clark. We call him Roger. People. My people, boy, we'll take your name and mess it up. His name is Willie, but we call him Raji. That's his name to us. So me and the homie Black, he's rolling in his car, and I'm rolling in my brother's Monte Carlo, and we're going from my hometown to Santa Ana in Orange County. The job was at John Wayne Airport. over there in Orange County. I believe the city was Irvine. So it was a good little drive, man. A lot of traffic. On the way, with all my little belongings in the car broke down. And it broke down is something that very few people who are listening to this will understand. On Jackrabbit Trail, narrow cliffs on the other side, two-way traffic with a concrete barrier, and you don't really have no room to get over on the side if you break down. And I was following Black. He had the presence of mind to know, because I was hitting my lights, I'm flashing, car breaking down, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my goodness. This is 1984, no cell phones, no pay phones in Jackrabbit Trail. The homie, Black, said, I don't think Terry behind me. He drove all the way because there was no turnaround. He had to almost go to another city, turn around, come back, saw me on the side of the road, went halfway back to home, turned around again, and picked me up. Talking about having somebody you can count on. How many people would do that? How many people would have just kept driving and left you stranded on the side of the road? See, that's what I'm saying. You get to a point in life where you only got just a few folks, a few of them that you can really count on. And two people I can count on, unequivocally, and that's my big brother, Jack, and my father, may he rest in peace, Pops. They came. After I had arrived in Orange County, they fixed that car and they brought it to me, dropped it off. And now I got wheels, baby. I got wheels. So I'm living in a new city. I'm enjoying myself, enjoying my new freedom, and working, having fun. And we were sleeping on the couch, as well as Roger's brother-in-law. Yeah, Tony. So it's three of us. And man, we were thick as thieves. Having a great time. One night, we were scared to death, though. It was a guy going around a serial killer. I forgot his tag name, but his name was Richard Ramirez. And someone had gotten murdered not too far from where we were. So we were all sleeping in the living room. Got the two girls in the bedroom, Raj and his wife. And my goodness, we sleeping with butcher knives. Oh man, if you would have came in there, we would go cutting the ribbons. But the problem was if anybody put a bump in the night, we were probably going to stab each other. But man, let's talk about a good laugh when we wake up and you guys sitting there, two butcher knives. My goodness, my job was very welcoming, but I couldn't count on them. No, could not count on them. That's the thing, how it is when you have ambition. People will be intimidated by you. They will also do what they can to hold you back. Here I am just for the summer, right? But I am being recognized. And that recognition was a beautiful thing. I was able to, drive around brand new cars whenever I wanted to. And, we drove the shuttle van back and forth to the airport, picking people up, partying every weekend, just being young, dumb, and stupid, and just having a blast. But at some point on the freeway, back and forth to work, they call it the Orange Crush, the 55 in Orange County. My goodness. Bumper to bumper. I mean, sometimes I would leave so late that I probably, if I had a helicopter, I wouldn't make it on time. But on this particular day, in California, they got red lights. So you can get on the freeway one car at a time. It ain't like that here. Yeah, it's not like that here where I am now. No, just everybody is just merged, and they'll try to ride door to door with you, try not to let you on. In California, got when traffic is thick, stop. Green light, one car. That's it. And then it turns right back red. So I'm at the back of the line. I know the freeway's packed because this light is on, and it was my turn to go next. And out of my rear view, I see this Jeep barreling towards me. And I'm like, they're not going to stop. They're not going to be able to stop. And sure enough, they did. That car hit me so hard. Bang! It hit me so hard that the Monte Carlo trunk folded like a taco. I can see the back license plate of my own car from the rearview mirror. And glass just from the back window came to the windshield, splashed all in front of my face. And I'm trying to keep this bad boy on the road. So I pull up some. So we got to fill out a report. This guy was driving in a county issued Jeep. He worked for the fire department. And he was trying to get into traffic so he can just get away. Scratch on his car. He got those steel bars, chrome bars as his grill, So this is a service vehicle. Towed my brother's car up. The car had sentimental value. It's one of the very few things my brother Jamie left in this world, and here I am. My pops had just lent it to me so I can get on my feet, And now it is totaled, and this guy is driving off? Are you kidding me? Some people just don't want to do the right thing. Some people are professionals at getting away with everything. Entitlement. What I had to do, long story short, I had to take his wallet. I had to open up the door and tell him, pull over. And he's like, okay, I'm just trying to get over. I'm like, you getting over into the freeway. No, you need to pull over on the side of the road. And the traffic is so backed up. I'm walking beside the car and talking to him. And he rolled his window up. And luckily he hadn't locked that door. So I did what I had to do, Yeah, I showed him how well I swing them. And cold cocked him. He fell over and his wallet was exposed. I got his driver's license and information and threw his wallet back in. And someone else had said, the cops are on their way. And it's about 5 cars back over there. But they came, they did their report. And my goodness, he was a fireman. This person, they're a police officer. Here I am, young, black, and afraid. And my back was hurting from that accident. Guy took this fireman's, took his side immediately. He was more concerned, how did I get his wallet? I'm like, do you see my car? People are driving by me like, man, I'm surprised you walking. That's how slow traffic is. People can talk to you on the side of the road. Traffic at a grinding halt. And when there's an accident, you got your looky-loos. Couldn't depend on the police officers. And I wound up having to tell my father what happened. I have several people in my life, but that number is dwindling. I got good friends that I haven't even talked to anymore. If you have people in your life and you can depend on them and you can count on them, then you better count your blessings. Because I'm telling you right here, right now, cousins, that number, the older you get, the more you experience life, that number gets smaller and smaller. If you got 5, you're doing fine. If you got 5 people that you can count on, but it's a 2-way street. You need to pick up that phone and call somebody just to ask them, how you doing? How things going? Yes, do that. And when you do, continue to build that relationship. When you're young, friends are very important. Oh man, it's the ultimate. When you're in grammar school, elementary, junior high, oh yes. By the time you get into high school, you start to see the friends get clicked up. Friends you had in kindergarten, first grade, and what have you are no longer your friends in high school. That doesn't change. And it don't stop. So my final word to you, because I'm so glad that you guys can listen to this message, is make sure that you reach out to those. Continue to build your circle. And know the difference. It's an old prayer, the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, but the wisdom to know the difference. If people cut you out of their lives, let them go. Let them go. If they cut you out of their lives, they're probably doing you a favor. If you got some people that are hard pressed and too eager to be your friend, be leery. Why is that? That's what wisdom will supply you. Okay? There's some beautiful things, but there's also ugliness in this world. But it's also a beautiful world too. You live in the world that you want to live in. Forgiveness. Sometimes that's what it takes. It takes just a little bit of forgiveness of those who may have wronged you. And then you get to the end of your rope, let them go. Life is too short to be wondering why. All right? May have to separate your friends. But, hey, as long as you got cousins and you got old cousin Terry right here, you got a place where you can come and you can talk. If you want to be on this program, I would love to have you. I'd love to have you as a guest. Love for you to come on here and tell all of the Cousins crew your story. And if you can do that, then let me know. Hey, hit me, inbox, like, comment, subscribe, and give me a little inbox and let me know, hey, I would love to be on your program. Because I would love to have you, cousins. Yes, I would love to have you. And I'm going to tell you right now, oh my goodness, it was a great show. I am so happy to have each and every last one of you guys here. And I just want to let you know something. Just keep holding it down. Right here, just like this. Holding it down. Right here on Word to the Wise. Every single Wednesday, y'all. Yeah, because I feel like we made today a kindred spirit. Yeah, I feel like we go way back like Fat Crayons and Hot Wheel tracks. Like Groupie Diapers and Similac, baby. Yeah, back like slave ship voyages and auction block. Way before them days of pushing Monte Carlos and pushing Cadillacs and pushing rocks. Yes, so keep joining and keep holding it down. And while you're out there doing your things, Cousin Crew, I just want you to know, be kind to somebody. If you gotta have some forgiveness in your heart and rebuild a friendship, then that's what you should do. And if you feel like it is over, that's okay too. But in the meantime, could you do me a favor and could you
I hope you like the podcast and you really like the podcast.
Come on, be serious.
And you better like my podcast.